What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. Today's positive motivational message is be willing to let your inner child out from time to time. As you can see, I'm not dressed in my normal attire. Not what you'd be used to seeing me wear here on the show. I have been known to wear a costume from time to time. Mix it up a little bit, make it a little fun, make it a little funny. And in reality, what better time than now? 'Tis the season. We are in the spooky season. So, which is exactly, that's the time when everybody dresses up, right? And there have been times when it wasn't exactly, the season, or it wasn't like a theme party, or it wasn't the occasion to wear a costume. And I thought it would be funny to kind of dress up and go out of the norm, do something kind of funny like that. Or perhaps gift a very embarrassing gift, something that was kind of funny. And that's me trying to let my inner child out, right? I'm trying to have fun. And be funny. But then that adult side of me steps in. And it tries to say, no, don't do that. I know you think that sounds funny. It's funny in your head, but when you get to the moment, you're going to be embarrassed by it. It's going to look stupid. You're going to look stupid. Everybody's going to mock you, trying to stifle that inner child. Even when I'm committed to doing it and I'm on my way to dressed all up. And like I said, it's not an occasion where everybody else is going to be dressed up. I am going to look silly. But that's the fun of it. And like I said, even before I'm about to do something like that, I have that voice in my head, the adult voice saying, this is crazy. You're stupid for this. It's going to be embarrassing. But once you commit and once you do it, most of the time, I've never experienced a time, at least, when I was mocked for acting that way, or I was ridiculed, or I felt embarrassed after I had committed. Because I allowed that inner child to do its work, to do its job, and be fun. You don't got to do it all the time, but every now and again, let that inner child loose. Have fun. Make life more interesting. Make life a little more fun. And it doesn't only just brighten your life up, it brightens the people around you because they are having fun too. And maybe that'll inspire them to do the same. So let that inner child out. Don't always let the adult side of you stifle that inner child. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get on in to today's episode. It's episode 222 of Life's a Garden. You shall not pass! Thank you all so much for joining me here again on the Life's a Garden podcast. Before we get started, I would like to remind you all, and please invite you to like, share, subscribe, follow on all platforms. We're available on all the digital platforms that you can find your podcasts at. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and many, many more. Please go out, find us. If you see it, give us a follow. Even if you don't listen to it on that platform, it helps grow this garden, and it is very much appreciated. Now, why am I dressed like a wizard? Well, one might venture to guess it could have something to do with Halloween. Now, that would be a very educated guess by you. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Well, not unfortunately, but unfortunately for you, you're wrong. That's not the case. The real reason I am dressed like a wizard is for a child's birthday party. And no, I will not be performing any magic, even though I am in fact dressed like a magical man, and I am indeed in real life a magical man. But no, it's my friend Mac and Savannah's son's first birthday party, and I don't know what it is about, I think it's a social media mom thing now, right? Where you have to theme your child's birthday parties pretty much from the ages of 1 through 5, maybe 1 through 4. Pretty much the ages where the child can't really choose their own theme. You're basically, and it has to be a pun, right? It's supposed to be a punny. Well, this is his first birthday, so it's 1 year to rule them all. It is Lord of the Rings theme, which, let's be honest. As far as themes go, hit it out of the park. Nailed it. I'm here for it. Obviously, look at me. But that's what it is. It's a themed child's birthday party. I think this year for their daughter's birthday, she turned 2. It was Moo Year 2, something like that. So it was farm themed. It's cute. It's fun. It's whatever. I'm a guy, so I think it's harder for me to get. Like I said, I think it's a social media mom thing. It's kind of just the trendy thing to do is theme your child's birthday parties at their young age. Because, most parties are themed. Even with older kids, it's Spider-Man, where it's all the decorations, the plates, the napkins, the balloons, they're all Spider-Man. The cake is a Spider-Man cake. Most of the kids' gifts end up being Spider-Man. But it's not you have to come dressed like your favorite Spider-Man villain. In this case, they want people to come in character and dress up. It's still fun. Like I said, let out that inner child. Have a little fun with it. Is the 1-year-old going to remember this? No. It's for the parents, really. We're doing it for the parents. And their friends. I'm not embarrassed to act like an idiot and come dressed like this. Now, I had jokingly said to them that I would come to the party dressed like Gollum. And if you're not familiar with the Lord of the Rings series, Gollum wears nothing. He wears a loincloth. But I have the bald head for it, and it was just a joke. The image of me crawling around this party with all these people, just basically naked, was a funny notion. Now, in reality, I don't know if that would go off so well. I don't know if showing up to a 1-year-old's birthday party, basically naked, just wearing a piece of leather in front of my schlong, would exactly go over too well. I don't know if the grandparents would like that. I don't know if some of my Mac and Savannah's friends who I've maybe met twice would get the joke of it. So I opted for a wizard. I thought that might be a little bit more safe bet. Now, am I supposed to be Gandalf? No, obviously I'm wearing black. I'm a random wizard. Because there's Gandalf the gray, there's Saruman the white, and I am Dakota the black. That is who I am. You're a wizard, Dakota. I'm a what? You shall not smash! I'm the no-fap wizard. You shall eat ass! Now I'm the opposite of that. God. Oh, man. So, yeah. Well, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to have fun. And I always enjoy going to their parties. And I think they kind of somewhat look forward to, at least Savannah. Mac could give a shit less. But I think Savannah looks forward to me actually participating. Because I think a lot of times people expect, or they hope that people will, and, you know, if you're throwing a party, you would hope people would participate in the fun. And oftentimes, you know, sometimes people just either aren't into it, it's not their style, or they just forget, you know? Me, I tend to come through. I at least attempt to come through. And so, in this case, I appreciate Savannah for allowing me to bring out my inner child and making me not feel like a dork or not feel embarrassed by it. She encourages it. It's a lot easier to do stuff like this at your friend's home. Going out in public can be a little bit more nerve-wracking. But again, like I said in the beginning, man, just do it. Just go with it. It makes life more fun. It makes life more interesting. And actually, people get a kick, some people get a kick out of it. And even if it flops, at least you tried. You stepped out of your comfort zone. You gave it a shot. You know what I mean? So let that inner child breathe a little bit. I am going to let my staff down because that's going to get old real fucking quick. However, I will trade it in for this beer. This was gifted to me by a friend. I've never tried this beer before. It is a Montana brewed beer from Kettle House. They wanted me to what's the word? Review it. 4.2%, not bad. It's called 46 Counties, or 56 counties, my bad. 56 counties, which is the amount of counties that are in the state of Montana. If you didn't know, beautiful can. I like the gold. American Light Lager. That's right up my alley. Okay, let's give it a try. From Kettle House in Missoula, Montana. I always thought about doing a segment here on the show called Brew Review. Trademark, don't steal that from me. Brew Review. I think that'd be kind of fun. Try different craft beers from around the state and review them here on the show. Just have like a short little segment, and then I'll just drink the beer throughout. Unless I don't like it, then I'll just go back to old reliable Coors Light. I like that. That's really good. It actually kind of reminds me of that Hulk Hogan beer that I had a while back. In a way, it pretty much just reminds me of like any. Yeah, it kind of just reminds me of similar to Bud Light or Coors Light or Miller Lite. Very similar. Very good. I like it. Cheers to Kettle House. That's your first brew review. How about that? How do you like that? Let's see what's going on. What's new? Went to Nick Schwartzen comedy show. Nick Schwartzen had a comedy show here in Billings, and attended that at the Alberta Bear. A lot of fun. Had a great time, and it's been really cool to see all the comedy acts coming to town. We've had waves of comedy shows that come through, but it always happens like. You'll see it happen in like a 2-year stint, and then it'll kind of go away. I will say, since Bert Kreischer came and did the Metra, because not a lot of comedians do the Metra. I think we've had Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias has done the Metra, and who's the guy with the puppets? He's been here several times, actually. His name's escaping me right now. But he's been here at the Metro before, too. Other than that, I think that might be about it. Maybe Dane Cook once? I don't remember. But ever since Bert Kreischer came to the Metro, it feels like we got a real wave coming through. Because a lot of those guys run in the same circles, and I think they have the same, like, at least their tour managers probably talk to each other and they figure out which places work and which don't. Because in a couple weeks, I'm going to Theo Vaughn. That's going to be awesome. Cannot wait for that. And then they just announced Tom Segura is going to be at the Metro next year. Already got my tickets for that. Love Tom Segura. One of my favorite comedians of all time. So I've been very pleasantly surprised and just stoked about the surge of comedy shows that have been coming to Billings. But Nick Schwartzen was great. My first time actually in the Alberta Bear since they remodeled it. And it's beautiful. Like, it looks pretty much the same, kind of, or it's the same vibe, I think. But it is a nice theater. I've always enjoyed that theater. And, yeah, great show. I mean, I loved the way he set it up. He had one opener, who maybe did like 15 minutes of material, and then Nick came out and did about an hour's worth of material. So maybe his opener did 30 minutes or so. I want to say it was like maybe 20. It wasn't too crazy long, but it was long enough to get you warmed up, get you started. He was a funny guy. I can't remember his first name, but it was like Pompa. What's his last name? Pompa. And Nick Schwartzen killed it. Started off with like some local Billings jokes, because I guess he was here for, he said 5 days. I don't know if I believe that. I feel like I would have seen way more pictures online of people like seeing him out in public or businesses promoting him. But he mentioned several different places, so he definitely was here for 2 or 3 days. He had some pretty good material about Billings, I will admit that. I'm not going to repeat any jokes because God knows I'd butcher them. But yeah, great time. I ended up meeting this dude at Hooligans. I went down to Hooligans to have some food before the show, have a couple drinks and some food. This dude ends up sitting next to me, start bullshitting with him, you know. It's one thing I like about hanging out at the bar is you meet random people all the time. Well, this guy was from Spokane, Washington. He was just in town for work. And he was like, oh, all right, well, I got to cash out. I got to get ready to go. And I was like, yeah, I got to go too. I'm going to a comedy show. I'm going to Nick Schwartz. And he's like, no shit, I'm going to that too. Right on. So we both go to the show. Obviously, we're sitting in different spots. But we end up meeting up afterwards and shooting the shit and kind of hanging out a little longer. Stayed out way later than I had meant to as far as wanting to go to work the next day. But it was good. It was fun. It's always nice to meet new people. Now, I will say this, okay? Nice guy. Great guy. Very much enjoyed his company. Absolutely nothing against this guy. But I will say this, okay? I don't know if any of you have experienced this or have been around somebody like this at any point in your life. There's something slightly, well, not even slightly. There's something pretty off-putting about someone that constantly has to validate how tough they are, or is constantly talking about how tough they are. 90% of the stories this guy was telling me were stories about him getting in a fight with somebody. And I was like, and we even talked about this before the show. So we talked about this before the show and then again after the show. I would try to divert the conversation to other topics, sports, or, you know, the show, talking about work. And somehow, some way, the conversation always led back to fighting somebody. Now, I don't know if maybe this guy just thought I was entertained by those kind of stories, which I was. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy a war story. I'm a fan. They are fun. But at some point, actually, you know what? It's not the war stories that bother me. I don't mind. You could tell me all the fights you've been in. That's fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever. The part that gets me, or the part that's more like, all right, buddy, I get it, is when they're like, yeah, man, I've never lost in a fight. Like, the biggest guy in the world, I'll take him down. I'll beat the shit out, you know, just trying to like juice yourself up as being like this tough guy. And I believe you. Like, I'm not sitting here saying he's a liar. And I even told, I'll tell you that. I'll be like, listen, I get it. I wouldn't fuck with you. You seem like a tough guy. I believe that you fought all these fights and that you won all these fights and whatever. Like, I have no reason to disbelieve you. So you don't have to continually try and prove yourself to me. You don't have to continually try to, like, get it through my head that you're a tough guy. I'm just going to believe you because I don't consider myself a tough guy. I'm not going to test you. So, but other than that, it was, you know, he was a good guy. Like, he seemed like a nice dude, had a family, and was even thinking about moving out here. I told him, dude, you should. Like, why not? It's a great, I enjoy it here. I don't know what the hell is wrong with everybody else. Everybody else seems to have an issue with Billings. if you got a problem with Billings, you've never been anywhere else. If you really have a problem with Billings, then you're looking to move to a small town. That's what you want. You want to move to some small town, some podunk ass fucking one horse town where there's nothing going on at any time. You can raise a family and a farm and be boring. That's what you're looking for. If Billings is too crazy for you and like the drugs and the homelessness and the this, that, and the other, if that's too much for you, you're not looking to move to an equally sized town or a bigger city. That's for damn sure. Because all of that, all the worst parts about Billings get amplified by 10 anywhere you go. You never been to Denver or Portland or Seattle or Phoenix. You know, I love going to those places. I do. But I like coming home. I don't like to stay. And there's a reason for that. I like that there's minimal traffic here. I like that there's, there's crime, but I've never been fucked with. My cousin who lives in Denver, he's been robbed and jumped many a times. He's been threatened. I've never had any, and I hang out downtown all the time. Do I believe that it happens? Of course. I've heard stories of it happening. I know that there's drug addicts and crazy people and bad shit happens here. I understand. It doesn't happen at the same level that it happens in bigger cities. So if you're not a fan of Billings, I understand. I get it. But you're not, if you want to move somewhere else, the funniest thing is the people that always have a problem with Billings are the people that want to, they're like, well, I think I might move to New York, or I might move to Austin, Texas, or somewhere like that. Dude. So you're just looking to have the same problems with a different scenery. That's what you're looking for. It's ridiculous to me. But yeah, so great night watching some comedy, Nick Schwartzen. I was actually hoping to run into him because the guy likes sports bars. He likes to drink. Figured he might pop into Hooligans. But I guess he's been on like a sober run as of late. So good for him. I'm glad. No sober October for your guy. I've been drinking. I've been slowing it down though. And oh yeah, I talked about it last week about the no gambling thing. I have stuck to that too. Fuck that shit. It's not even worth it. Oh, here's another nice little anecdote for you. This could have also been the positive motivational message of the week. So I'm going to give you two. And this is just a simple one, to be honest. It's so simple, but it's very therapeutic and helpful. Cook a meal for yourself. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the lazy freak and the fast food junkie. But when you take the time to cook yourself a meal, there's just something about that makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel like you've done something with your day and that you've gifted yourself something and it's like you're gifting yourself nourishment. But you're also like taking the time to create a dish that you can enjoy later, and if you make enough for leftovers, you can enjoy it another day. It's a cheaper option than going out to eat all the time. I don't know. I've just been in one. I realized the other day that I hadn't cooked a meal for myself in over a month. Now I'm not talking open up a can of soup, plop, throw it in the microwave, or throw a frozen pizza in the oven. Done that plenty of times. And I'm not talking about lunch, making a sandwich. I'm talking about actually chopping up some veggies, frying up shit and sauteing shit. Actually putting some labor into a meal. It's very therapeutic. And it just makes you feel like you've actually done something with your day. And actually done something for yourself. So if you're not someone that's used to cooking for yourself, Take the time to do that. Once or twice a week, even. Like, it really makes you feel better for whatever reason. It's not like I cooked myself a healthy meal. I made spaghetti and meat sauce. But it was delicious, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the time it took to make it. So that was just a little extra thing I wanted to throw out there. I was trying to come up with a... What would my wizard name be? Like, I was actually trying to think of funny names about what the wizard name would be. The best I came up with was the Wizard of Schnoz. Because I got that beak on me. I'm actually pretty fortunate. If you looked at the rest of the Craigs in my family, they all have pretty good beaks on them. I actually ended up pretty safe. Now I still got that beak, and God did not gift me with small ears either, so I got them elephant ears. I got that trunk, I got them ears, and but not as bad as some of the other Craigs. And my dad didn't exactly have the big nose either, so I think I got the lucky genetics in that. Not with the hair though. But that's most of us. Most of us are bald. The Wizard of Schnoz. Which goes just as good with the Blizzard of Oz, because... What's Ozzy trying to say right there? John, absolutely nothing. The Blizzard always came straight with its message. Dude. Have you guys seen these new Tesla robots? This just kind of rolled out of fucking nowhere, right? Just in 2 days. My feed, my Instagram feed, my Facebook feed has just been flooded with these robots. Now I know there's been experimenting with robotics and stuff like that, like MIT and Dartmouth and all these other institutions have been rolling out these robot designs, like those dog robots, and you see some of them. How have we not seen any prototypes, any lead up to these robots? These things are wildly advanced from those dog robots and the other things that we've seen so far. And that wasn't Tesla that was doing those. These things straight up, they don't like jerky move. They kind of do. Like a little bit. It's not quite as fluid as human movement. But it is not like me, more, hello. Like they'll straight up be like, peace. Like their movement is pretty fluid. It's a little bit jerky, but like they'll wave, and it's so creepy because they have no face. It is just a black screen, basically, that has, it's completely void of emotion, but the voice that they use is indistinguishable from a human. Like, it's so... It makes me feel like somebody is controlling it and just speaking through a voice thing. That's how real it is. Because they'll just be like, hey man, what can I get for you? How are you doing today? Oh, you guys want a picture? Peace. Thank you guys so much. Have another, we'll see you later. Like, just straight up like that. They walk pretty good. I saw one pouring a beer. I think it was at whatever the Tesla... Like they were unveiling some new Tesla stuff, including these fucking robots. Yeah, it was pouring beer, like not spilling nothing, very accurate with its movements and being able to like precisely, like it registered that somebody was taking a picture of it. And it was like, oh, you guys want to take a picture? Throws up the peace sign. Unbelievable. The future is just speeding towards us. And they're saying that these fucking robots are going to be for purchase to the public consumer. for like $20,000 or $30,000. Like a personal assistant robot. You could just have one chilling in your house and just be like, all right, you're like, just make sure everything's neat and tidy around the house. And once everything is up to code, just hang out unless otherwise told so. Like it could make your bed, do the dish. I don't know if it could actually do the dishes. I don't know if like the water or whatnot. That'd be interesting to see. It could do your laundry. You know, it could just do all kinds of fucking stuff. That's crazy. And then, oh, dude, and by the way, is this not the exact plot of iRobot? It's the exact thing. And they look pretty close to the same, besides the no face. And honestly, there's something I don't know. I don't know if I like having the no face, or if I'd rather have it have a face. They're both very creepy. Because when you think about those iRobot ones, those faces weren't great either. They were pretty just like deadpan. Where like this, you're just looking. It looks like you're talking to fucking Cobra. Is that his name? Cobra from G.I. Joe? That's basically what it looks like you're looking at. And Cobra Commander, right? That's his name. And so yeah, and then they unveiled these driverless taxis that you can also purchase for $30,000 is what they're starting the price at. It's just a 2-seater car, no pedals, no steering wheel, and they're gonna use them as taxis, like an Uber, like it's gonna be its own thing. Just a 2-seater. There's like a screen you can watch TV on. And you can buy these for your personal usage. And then while you're at work, you could have these cars driving around and you're making money on it. You're making money as it's being an Uber for you. That's nuts. Now, I don't know how I feel about all that because it's not going to clean itself. So what if somebody just leaves like trash in your car? I don't know about all that. There's nobody there to monitor whether somebody's being dirty, unless there's cameras all around it, which I'm sure there are on the inside. And what if it like locked? What if you like left something in there, like locked the door and it's like, remove your trash, and then a bunch of guns come out and it's like, remove your trash or you're fucked. Oh my god! Like on Rick and Morty. God, yeah, I don't know about all that. And then they also unveiled like this giant van. It's supposed to be like kind of a bus. That thing's ugly. It's very futuristic though. I mean, Elon Musk is on he's got his nose to the grindstone, making sure we're advancing in the future as fastly as possible. Yeah, he's got his thumb on the button, making sure that shit is pumping out futuristic stuff. And then I guess Tesla's stock plummeted, so I think I might have to buy into that. Because something tells me, as lazy as America's gotten, those robots are going to get bought up in droves. Especially by rich people. Like, the rich are going to have them first. And then the middle class, and then eventually they'll have the model. Like, the older model will be affordable enough for the poor, while everybody else is upgrading to their Robot 10s or whatever they are. Robo 10. Crazy. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, dude, you gotta go look at it. It really is very bizarre. Yeah. Too much. Now, as you've probably noted, have done a lot of solo episodes lately. So, and not a lot happened this week. So I haven't really had a lot, there's not a lot of topics for me this week to talk about. So I figured, why not I'm gonna kind of scroll through my Instagram feed and see what it pops up, and maybe it'll give me some inspiration for topics to talk about. Because, last week we talked about the hurricanes. Hurricane Milton came through and just like fucked Tampa Bay up. Tore the roof off of the Tropicana Arena. It did some damage. I don't think it was quite as bad as people were thinking it could have been, but it still was pretty bad. So my whole Instagram feed was just hurricane stuff, and now it's completely died down. But let's take a look. Let's see what my every now and again we dive into my Instagram feed. Now I'm not gonna pop it up on the screen here, but we'll see what maybe.
Buddy, why are you plumb? Okay, these are our top.
Okay, see.
Shit, let me think fast and stop. See, it's drawn from.
See, a lot of these are just goofy. Actually, you know what? Let me scroll. That'd be the way to do this, right? Ooh, what is this? Oh, that is so cool. I love that. Chris Harris Jr., one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time in Bronco history, signed a one-day contract so he could retire as a Bronco. I love that. Love it. All right, let's get past all the simp stuff. Oh, hell yeah. College football. Oregon playing tonight against Ohio State. Go Oregon. I'm pulling for Oregon. Ooh, nature is metal. Disgusting. Maybe I'll try my Facebook feed, because that actually gives me some more informative stuff. See, whenever I try to do shit like this, it doesn't really ever work, right? Okay, what do we got?
Sertan's pick. This is the game-changing play and got them on a roll. So what we have here is everybody's in man-to-man with a single high safety. And
okay, football. A lot of sports. Jesus.
Photobox.
Make their way halfway through.
And I become...
What do you do for a job, my friend? Fresca can...
Of course. So it's all just funny stuff rather than informative stuff. This is funny though, because you know how you get ads pop up on your Instagram stuff? You get ads pop up on your TikTok and whatnot. Of course, the political ads always seep into there too somehow. Not somehow, but... Oh, by the way, I also figured out why... Well, maybe I already talked about it. The reason we're getting, just crushed with political ads and all that, because I bitched about this a while back, it's because the Montana seat is really pivotal in swaying. I think I might have talked about that. Fuck it, I don't even care. Anyway, one of the newer ads that they're using is because they're really hammering home this abortion thing with Tim Sheehy, which we'll get into that here in a minute in and of itself. But the ad goes, Tim Sheehy wants to ban abortion immediately. And then it cuts to a clip of him going, I want it all to end tomorrow. Huh. Well, that's false advertising right there. Because technically, tomorrow isn't right now. You know what I'm saying? When they say Tim Sheehy wants to ban abortion immediately, and then you play a clip of him saying, I want it to end tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is not right now. Tomorrow is in a while from now. And the more you play that clip, the more it just sounds like he's saying, tomorrow. We'll just do it. I want it to end tomorrow. So, every day you play that, it's just tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. It's not right. Like, if he was saying, I want it to end right now, yeah, you can play that all day long, and right now is right now. But tomorrow is not right now. So, like I said, if you could just play that clip every single day, it just sounds like he's backtracking. Like, he's just like, no, we'll just do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. Not today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. I just thought that was a funny choice to say. Tim Sheehy wants it to end right this second. I want it to end in a couple weeks. Not now. Maybe later. Now, I gotta just say this. and I hate saying this, I hate even bringing it up. So often, the abortion topic gets brought up, and it seems to be a very, very heavily used issue in this debate, or in this election. It's a very high priority issue that they keep pushing. And I understand, trust me, I get it that it's crucial for the people that are involved with it because, depending on how the House and the Senate end up, they could end up making some laws that affect that heavily. And I am sympathetic to that. I totally get the importance of it. I totally get why people are invested in it and why it's something that they are passionate about and why it registers strongly to them. Okay? I get it. But, and you knew there was a but coming, for some reason, and maybe it's just me being a guy where the abortion thing is not quite as high on my priority list, or maybe it's the human in me, the American in me, that thinks, yeah, that is a pretty big issue. Yeah, that is something to be talked about and concerned about. But don't you think there might be a couple of other issues that are a little more important? Like economy? Like interest rates and wages and inflation? Maybe immigration? And the fact that we're getting completely overloaded with illegal immigrants that are taking over cities? Maybe wars. Russia, Israel, Palestine. You name it. How about all these foreign conflicts that we're involving ourselves in? Those are pretty serious issues, if you ask me. But, no. Abortion. Abortion is the number one topic. Like I said, I get it. I am for people here in America being able to do and say whatever they want as long as it doesn't harm somebody else. Now that's where the rubber meets the road in this. I'm not going to dive into, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to dive into all the issues that go around with abortion. But it's not that I'm aware of it all, and I am totally, I get it, It just kind of drives me crazy when that's the talking point, and we have so many other issues that affect a lot more people. And I get that abortion is a personal thing, and it's invasive to people's freedom. But we got other things that are fucking up people's freedom too. And I think we need to prioritize a little bit here. Let's talk about it for sure. But let's not make it the number one fucking issue. That's all I got to say about that. And like I said, maybe that's just the guy in me. You shall not smash. That's what Tim Sheehy's that's Tim Sheehy's what's it called? Political campaign slogan. You shall not smash. But that is the Hulks. The Hulks is the opposite. You shall smash. Oh boy, I don't have too much else here, fellas or folks, fellas, ladies, gents, people, they, thems. I don't have a whole lot left to talk about here. So I will end. This might be a shorter episode. You're lucky you got an episode at all this week, guys. I'm telling you. I was this close to just skipping this week. But I also I wanted to take advantage of the wizard costume. I really did. Because it's fun to dress up during the holiday season. I wanted to utilize it while I'm going to use it. Because you probably never see me wearing this again. Let's be honest. So I wanted to utilize it. Here I am doing so. And that's basically the only reason you got an episode this week. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's the main reason you got an episode was because I'm dressed. The whole episode is built around me being dressed like a fucking wizard. I'm the Glizzard of... Oh, man, I almost had one. The Glizzard. The White Glizzard. How many wizard puns can I come up with? I've already come up with a couple good ones, I think. You're a wizard, Jerry. I'm a what? A wizard. And a bloody good one, I'd wager. Well, all this time I was a wizard. I've been living with these assholes all this time. My best Jerry Seinfeld impersonation. Or, hey, what if I want to do Snape? Can I do a Snape? You know I can do Snape. I know he doesn't wear a cloak like this, but that's the best I can do for you. There will be no reckless wand-waving or silly incantations in this class. Or, I guess you could be like, we can go the opposite way from Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter and go, execute Order 66. Now rise, and you shall be called Darth Vader. Oh, God. My hat. My hat. I should wear this on stage sometime. Wear this outfit. Okay, so we'll just end this episode off with some sports talk because that's what I'm good at talking about. And there's plenty of it going on right now, let's be honest. Hockey is back, right on. Avalanche got their asses kicked in the opening game, so that sucked. But we got a long season to go. Avs need some real goaltending going on here. We got blown out by the Vegas Knights. We're good on offense. We can play offense. Hell, we can play defense. Not the first game, obviously. But yeah, we need goaltending. The Gorgiev is not doing it for us. And when do they play next? Because they played on Wednesday. So I wonder if they've played since then. They must have. Avalanche. They play today. They play the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, that's the first game that we're playing since we lost to the Knights. It's a long time in between games. Weird. Basketball's coming up soon. Excited about that, of course. And we have playoff baseball, which I really don't get into baseball all that much. I'm pretty excited about this year's playoffs. I mean, I love seeing the Mets do what they're doing. I was really hoping that the Padres would knock out the Dodgers because fuck the Dodgers, one of my least favorite teams. And who else? Oh, the Yankees. I actually, for the first time I think in my life, rooted for the Yankees because fuck the Kansas City Royals, fuck Patrick Mahomes, fuck everything in Kansas City. Fuck them. Kansas City Royals lost to the Yankees. I'm all right with that. So we're just waiting for, we'll know by the time this comes out. It'll either be the Cleveland Guardians or the Detroit Tigers. I don't really care either way. The Mets are playing the Dodgers, Go Mets. I'm going for the Mets the whole way. How crazy would it be if it's the Mets and the Yankees? That would be awesome. Apparently that's happened before, so it wouldn't be the first time. But it would be fun to have that happen. Because I don't care if it's Cleveland or Detroit, whichever. I honestly don't really hate the Yankees all that much lately. So if they made it there, I wouldn't bother me. It has been fun to kind of watch some baseball, though. College football, freaking Alabama lost to Vanderbilt last week. And let's see how they're doing right now, because last I looked, it was a really close game. Whoo! They eked out a close one, 27-25 against South Carolina. Damn, Alabama is not good this year. I mean, I know they're ranked number 7, but dude, if they played anybody worth their... Although, they blew out Georgia. So what the hell is going on over there? They blew out Georgia. They did almost, they almost let that one get away from them. But, my God. I'm loving that. And then, of course, we have NFL. Denver Broncos, 3-game winning streak. And, might I add, I do believe there is a really, really high possibility that we could go on another 3 games. We could go on a 6-game winning streak here. This week, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. Don't get me wrong. Tough team. They're the ones out of the next 6 that I am the most worried about. They do have a good defense, well coached by Jim Harbaugh, but still a winnable game. I think we could still win that game. It's at home. We have a chance to win that game. And it would be very good for the division for us to win that game. Then we go on a short week to New Orleans. Sean Payton returns to New Orleans. First time he's played against the Saints since not coaching them. And they're without Derek Carr, and they've been looking like hot garbage lately. Easily, like, we could win that one for sure. And then back home for Carolina, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Another easy win for us. I'm just saying, and no wins are easy, so I shouldn't say that. But winnable games. I think there's a chance. If we beat the Chargers, I really think we might go 6 straight. I really do. So, here's to that. Otherwise, what else do we have going on? Oh, dude. I gotta talk about this. Robert Saleh being fired by the New York Jets is one of the dumbest and strangest moves I have ever seen. First of all, they owe him a ton of money still. I don't know. The only explanation is that Rodgers didn't like him. That's the only explanation. But according to Rodgers, he was just as thrown off by that as anybody else. That was apparently the ownership's decision, was to fire him. Which, again, makes no sense. They're 2-3. It's only 5 games into the season. He was a defensive coach. I believe he called the defensive plays. Their defense was their best part of their team. They promote the defensive coordinator to be the head coach. So even if the D coordinator was calling the plays and was like more involved in the defense, now he has extra stuff that's going to take away from that. So now your defense is taking a hit. The best part of your team is taking a hit. And they kept fucking Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator. Did they strip him of his play calling? Yes. So what the fuck does he do on the team? Why is he there? That's twice in 3 years that Nathaniel Hackett has been stripped of play calling duties. That guy should never be a coach of any magnitude in the NFL again. He sucks so fucking bad. I love this. That part I love. The Robert Saleh thing is stupid. I love that he's getting it from the Jets now because it validates our decision to fire him immediately. Because they were throwing shade at us for doing that. No, this proves why he's fucking sucks. And I mean, it doesn't look great that we hired him in the first place. But that was clearly a ploy to try and get Rodgers to come play for us, which, thank God, that didn't happen either. Because Aaron Rodgers can suck a fuck. And then what else? I feel like, oh yeah, NFL. Any other big news in the NFL? Yeah, that Robert Saleh thing is crazy to me. I can't believe it doesn't shock me that they fired him. It shocks me that they fired him this early in the season. If you had any chance of redemption, this ain't it. That guy coming in to be the head coach isn't going to turn you guys around. Sorry to break the news. I'm curious how Tampa Bay is going to play. I mean, they're not playing at home this week, but it'll be curious going forward if they play in Tampa. Dude, the Commanders are for real. That's going to be a good game. Commanders-Ravens. That'll be a good game. Browns are hot garbage. Dude, Deshaun Watson, that's one of the worst trade deals I've ever seen in my life. Like, they owe, if they were to cut him right now, they're chained to him. There's no way. If they cut him right now, they still owe him $170 million. That would be $170 million in dead cap. That'd be the biggest cap hit ever. There's no way they could feasibly do that. So they're stuck with him. The only other way they get out of it is if they trade him to another team that's willing to take the cap hit, and then you got to just send them a bunch of draft picks. They are fucked. The Browns, that's the most Browns thing ever. They will never win a Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, the Cleveland Browns, let's at least be real here. They will not win a Super Bowl in the next 25 years. That's guaranteed. Their best chance at all, if ever, was in the last 4 years. And they never even got close. That's the best teams they've had over the last 4 years. Throw Jameis Winston in. He deserves to play. Deshaun Watson sucks. And Kevin Stefanski deserves way more as a head coach. He's a good head coach. He deserves way better than that to be on the fucking Browns. I would quit. Let's see, who else do we got here? Patrick Surtain, AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Just lots of good sports stuff going on. Very excited. This is a fun time of year. There's always something to watch now. And for the first time, I'm really getting into baseball. Yeah. What a crazy year. Got into WNBA just a little bit, and now I'm kind of interested in playoff baseball for the first time. I've been watching college football like crazy. Huh. Go Colorado Buffs, too, by the way. Colorado Buffs play the Kansas State Wildcats. If they win, they'll be ranked. So I'm pulling for the Buffs. All right, guys. Let me get my staff again. Thank you guys so very much for joining me again this week. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, this close to not getting an episode, but because of the Wizard, because your Wizard of Schnoz came out to play, you got an episode. So, thank you so much. Please remember to let out that inner child once in a while. Let that inner child play. Don't just stifle it by that adult side of you. Obviously, the adult side is going to make most of your decisions, but when it comes to the fun stuff, let that inner child come out and let him explore just a little bit. Him or her. Or they. And don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.